Hey everybody, welcome to a weekend edition of NoDQ&A video, right here on youtube.com/NoDQCW, and as always, NoDQ.com. Let's not waste any more time, let's get right down to your questions. Lesnar versus Cena or Lesnar versus Triple H? Which match was better and why? I would have to say without question, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. I would say that was a better match, number one, because the crowd in Chicago was red hot. They were hot for everything. And they were really into that match. They did not like John Cena, and this was Brock Lesnar's first match back, so it was something special, and people didn't know what to expect from Lesnar. And when he came out there and just beat the hell out of Cena, I think that it brought a lot of intensity to that match and a lot of drama, and the people were just into it. And those guys just beat the hell out of each other. I mean, there was hard way blood, and it was just very violent, and it was something you don't see in WWE all that often. The Lesnar Triple H match at SummerSlam, it was a little bit toned down. It was focused more on submission holds and not as much brawling. And the crowd just wasn't into it, as I mentioned in previous videos. The crowd was quite dead for it, actually, which was unfortunate that since it was the main event, but the people wanted to see a different kind of match. This is from Sir Gio. Is AJ Lee supposed to be a heel or face GM? She appears to be feuding with Punk and Daniel Bryan, but she fired Jericho and helped Big Show in the triple threat match. Also, does WWE have a real plan for her, or are they striking while the iron is hot? I think she's supposed to be a babyface, but they're still playing up the gimmick of her being a crazy chick and being unpredictable. And the thing about the GM is that I think WWE is trying to stay away from doing a good guy or bad guy GM, just having a GM who does their job, and sometimes they'll favor the heel, sometimes they'll favor the babyface. Just have them be neutral. I think that's what they're trying to do with AJ Lee, and not sure if they have a real plan for her. I think that she became GM because she was starting to get over with the audience, and like you said, they decided to strike the iron when it's hot. There's a lot of criticism about AJ Lee as a GM. I think people want to see her back in her old role again and don't really feel she fits as the GM. I mean, I've seen all sorts of different opinions about this. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Should she stay GM or should she go back to her old role? You guys leave a comment. Let me know what you think. This is from Nikki Sturzu. What's your opinion on the Punjabi prison match between Khali and Batista? Do you think WWE should bring back more matches like this and Lion's Den or the Triple Cage match? Please answer on video. I never cared for the Punjabi prison matches. I think they were too much of a cluster F. But I did like that one spot where Batista was on one part of the cage and then he leaped to the other side of the cage. I thought that was pretty cool. But beyond that, didn't care for those matches. And they should not bring it back. As far as bringing back Lion's Den, I don't think that's going to happen, especially with UFC at a level of popularity that it's at. I don't think WWE is going to acknowledge something that is not their creation, the Octagon and all that. Just don't see them doing that kind of match again with UFC as popular as it is right now. And as far as the Triple Cage match goes, like the Octagon being a UFC creation, or an MMA creation, whatever. I don't want to get heat for that. But as far as the Triple Cage match goes, that's a WCW creation, and I think that's the main reason we haven't seen it in WWE, because it's not something that they created. I could always see it coming back down the line, maybe once Triple H is in full control. I mean, I've mentioned this before about Triple H. When he's got full power, we could see some things change in WWE. We could see a different philosophy on how to run things. So I think at that point, more things might be possible. More matches could come back that we haven't seen in a long time. What are your views on Kevin Nash saying that CM Punk should restart the NWO? Do you think it would work? I think that's just Kevin Nash being Kevin Nash, trying to get people talking and stir things up a little bit. I don't see much smoke to this fire. I think that Vince is not interested in bringing back the NWO. I don't think we're going to see any more of the NWO beyond an occasional DVD release or an NWO theme in a video game, but don't see the NWO coming back. And to be honest, I don't think a good portion of today's audience would even know what the NWO is. I think that you would bring back the NWO and a lot of people would be like, what's this? And that's sad to say, but it's true. So I don't think it would be worth it to bring back the NWO at this point. And you can bring it back, but it's never going to have the impact that it had during its original run. So just don't see it happening. This is from Kenny Firebird. Were you shocked by the lack of use of divas at SummerSlam? Personally, I can see why TNA gets a lot of credit for use of their female wrestlers. I was surprised because the divas always seem to have some sort of role at a pay-per-view. There's always some kind of diva match, usually as a filler match. But in this case, there was no divas match. And to be perfectly honest with you, I was not complaining about that. I mean, usually when there's a divas match at SummerSlam or whatever show I go to, I hit the restrooms. No offense to the divas, but, you know, like I've mentioned time in and time out, I'm not really interested in seeing fitness models go out there and try to become wrestlers. I want to see actual female wrestlers that have busted their ass on the independent scene and worked their way up, come to the big stage and perform. I want to see people with wrestling talent. That's just my opinion. And yeah, TNA deserves the credit for trying to push the female wrestlers and actually bring in wrestlers like Gail Kim that can actually go. So I do give TNA credit for that, definitely. This is from 99 Razor Kingdom. Hey Aaron, love the show. I got 2 questions. Have you ever watched the indie wrestling show Shakara? I've been following it for quite some time now and it's really good. And number 2, have you ever considered becoming a professional wrestler yourself? Okay, let me. The reason I'm answering this question is because I do get asked a lot. Do you watch Shakara? Do you follow Ring of Honor? Why don't you cover Ring of Honor? NoDQ.com, so on and so forth. And here's my answer to you guys. I do not follow indie wrestling for the most part. Occasionally, I'll go to an independent wrestling show here in Southern California. I've gone to PWG shows in the past, although I haven't as of late. So I'm vaguely familiar with what Ring of Honor is doing, but I don't follow it all that well, and I don't watch the shows. Just don't have the time, and I'm not all that interested. And I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody on the independent scene. I have a tremendous amount of respect for independent wrestlers and the sacrifices that they make. So I really respect them, but I just don't follow it. So that's the answer right there. And NoDQ.com is a mainstream wrestling site, and honestly, I don't really have the time to follow the other promotions. So that's just the way it is. And as far as becoming a professional wrestler, not really. I mean, I did backyard wrestling when I was a kid. Lame backyard wrestling, for the record. But I'm honest with you, I'm not an athletic person. So, I mean, to become a professional wrestler, you need to be a great athlete. You need to be able to be in great shape and train and eat right and do all that stuff. And I just don't fit into that category. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for the people that are committed and dedicated and can pull it off. This is from Chadwick33. Hey Aaron, what section did you sit at SummerSlam and how much did your ticket run for? I was in section 101, which if you know where the hard camera is, you look when you have the camera shot on TV where the camera's looking directly at the ring, straight ahead. I'm in that section, and we had pretty good seats. I mean, I was in the back, but I was in the back row of the section. But the good thing about the section we were in and where we were sitting is that there was like a wall behind us, so you could actually stand up and hold signs or whatever, and they're great seats. I mean, 101's a great section because the ring's directly in front of you and the Titantron's on the right side. I always try to get those seats, and usually I'm successful if you get on there right at 10 a.m. and try to buy the tickets. The ticket was $150, which is quite a lot. And the interesting thing is that each year when SummerSlam's been in LA, they've raised the ticket prices. I think it was something like $90 in 2009, and then each year they raised it by like $10, $15. But they sold out again this year, so I don't blame them for raising ticket prices. As long as they can fill up that arena, they're going to charge as much as they can possibly get. So that's capitalism for you. Do you think that if Ken Shamrock ever returns to WWE, that him and Brock Lesnar would have a good rivalry? I don't see Ken Shamrock returning. I think Ken Shamrock is done for the most part. I think that he's up there. He's well into his 40s now, and I just don't think he would be able to do the full-time WWE schedule, and I just think his time has passed him. Now, if he was at his prime, I'm sure him and Brock Lesnar could have a great match and a great feud, but it's just not meant to be. That'll wrap it up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Please subscribe. Please spread the word on Facebook, Twitter, Tout, wherever you go for your social media needs. I really do appreciate all the support from you guys, and believe me, the word of mouth definitely helps a lot. So thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you this coming Tuesday for more No DQ&A video.